you're in Sydney, and
Yes, I am.
you've got a company called Black Box Portraits, right?
Right.
And besides that, you've also got another company, and we've got a photograph of you on screen now, as you can see.
That's
So,
me with the big hair.
with a bit, the big hair looks great. So, so
Thank you.
you set up Black Box Portraits photography exclusively for women by a woman. How long ago did you do that?
Um, Probably about a year and a half it's been now.
Okay, so it's a fairly new business.
Yes.
But besides that,
But
you also run another studio, and that's called Vivid.
yeah, so I've been running Vivid for almost 13 years now. And Black Box is sort of something I fell into. And when I say fell into, I just by chance, I feel, started having a lot of women approach me. I think particularly because I was female, and yeah, just approaching me for photos, like sort of nude photos, boudoir type photos,
Right.
and just started doing a lot more photo shoots that way, and decided to start off a business, a separate business, and that's how I started off Black Box Portraits.
Right. So there was some demand out there to photograph females. Was that anything to do with the area you're in? Why do you think that happened? Was it just time and place that?
Um, I don't think area so much, because I had people travelling from all over Sydney to come and see me. Um, I think there was a few contributing factors. One of the positive things when you're photographing another female, I feel, is they really felt comfortable because I'm female myself.
Right.
So it wasn't awkward for them to take off their clothes, or get into their lingerie or try something different. So, and I did have women say that to me. They found out through my website, or through word of mouth or whatnot, that I was a female photographer. So I think that had a big part in it. And of course, they researched my work, and they saw some of the photographs that I had taken, and liked my style. And then I think in addition to that, once they found out that I was female, had a look at the website, for example, speaking to me over the phone, I guess they felt comfortable, and one thing leads to another, and then you've got yourself a portrait sitting.
Yeah. So
So
with that, you decided that instead of incorporated it in Vivid, you took the step of uh, creating a totally dedicated website just for these women.
yes, I just specifically thought I wanted to market it just for women, and I wanted to sort of package it up and brand it in a way that I think women would sort of see it as more of an upmarket product.
Yeah.
And that's, Bernie, you've seen the brochures that I've just designed, and
Yes.
I know I've spent a fair bit of money on them, but for me, it's all about making it look and feel upmarket. So my brochures are printed beautifully. They're designed beautifully. I've taken the extra time and the effort to think about these things, and my logo and my branding, which I feel are so important. Um, and I know that when people look at my brochure, for example, they pick it up for the first time. They're like, wow, they open it up. They see the before and after photos.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, and that leads them to the website, and the Facebook page and the Instagram and all that sort of stuff, which is all connected.
Now, and when you first started off, and you say it was only 18 months ago, when I started
Mm.
coaching you because you wanted to take that next step, you mentioned to me that you'd had some very good sales, which amazed me. Just tell us a little bit about those early sales that you did.
Sure. I guess those sales, most of those sales came from past clients or referrals. So I feel that that might have had something to do with it, because they knew me, they knew my work, they knew what to expect, they knew the quality, all that sort of stuff.
And these
And for
sales,
me,
some of them were what, $6,000 or something.
yeah. Um, for me, it was just about putting together albums and photos and things like that, products, I should say, products that I felt women would want to buy. And I always ask myself, what would I want to buy? You know, if I went out and spent the time and the effort doing this photo shoot and getting my hair done and my makeup and, you
Yeah.
know, taking a day out to do this, what would I want out of it? And so I just started to produce products that I felt that I would want to buy, um, and that I loved, and I loved the quality. And but again, I guess you helped me see things in a different light too. So um, yeah, what else can I say about that?
Yeah, well, you operate your studio, or you were at this stage operating your studio from home in a dedicated space,
hmm
which I suppose, did you find that helped in doing this sort of work, that you were working from home, or you don't think it mattered?
um, I think I think it helped in a way because, well, okay, let's be honest. For me, I always thought it was a negative thing working from home
Yep.
because, I was enclosed in, I live in a cul-de-sac. No one knew about me,
Yeah.
so it's about making people aware that you exist through
Yep.
your website, through your social media, through referrals and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and I think for me personally, I sort of always had a complex about it in the back of my mind, but I thought this is a situation that I'm in. I have to make the best of it. I have to make my studio look as presentable as possible. I have to make my photographs, my albums, my products look as presentable as possible. And, I have to dress nice. I have to
Yep.
be presentable myself and just carry through that professionalism.
That's
Um,
correct. Yes, you did that, and that's the first thing I noticed about you when I visited your studio. How well you presented everything. You looked at market.
Yeah, and I guess that's just me by nature. I've always been the type of person that, I've always taken effort into the way that I look, the way I groom myself. My house, if you come into my house, I've had people that come into my house and say my house is a display home. And by no
Hmm.
means does it look like a display home. It's a tiny house, but I just make sure everything looks nice, neat, clean, and I've had clients that have come in and said, you're so neat, you're so this, and they love that.
Hmm.
Um, so that's just me though. I'm like that. So, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I do think my clients appreciate it. And I do come across as being very organized, very anal with particular things. And I feel that my clients like that also because they know that, they're paying good money to someone that's, going to obviously deliver
Yeah.
um, the work that they expect and what they pay for.
Okay. So just getting into your processes. Um, so black boxes we can see on the screen specialize in boudoir, makeover, glamour photography, um, digital polishing. I like that, digital polishing, in a private environment. So this is off your website, the Black Box website. So you've laid it out there pretty well. You've branded it pretty well. You know, it's for those women who want to feel confident, sexy, desirable, and proud, all of that. So, and you've put the message through really strong that you're a female and it's a safe environment and an understanding environment.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's definitely what I wanted to convey. And I think that's really important. I feel through the Black Box clients that I have taken photographs of, um, they're not your young teenage.
Yeah.
The age bracket is sort of middle-aged women, so women that are married, and if these women are going to be telling their husband, they're getting themselves involved in some sort of a photo shoot, it's going to be a lingerie shoot, it's going to be something for them, then I think their husbands need to be comfortable with them coming to do this sort of a thing. When they find out that it is a female photographer, it's like, oh, phew, like, thank God. Okay, go do it. Go take yourself off. Go do whatever you want.
Okay.
So I have had women say that to me. So that's why I push for the, female photographer by a woman, for women. I think that's really important.
So when I started coaching you, one of the things you weren't doing, which you didn't notice, and as an outsider it was immediate, you weren't promoting enough before and after, the transformation that you do for women. So here's an example, and I just love the transformation you do to the woman, like in this one. And we've got another example here, and this is the one on the right there is one of the photographs that you used in a lot of your advertising, and I particularly liked that one. There it was carefree, she's apparently nude or semi-nude, but she's feeling good about everything.
Yeah, I don't know if that's coming up on the screen, Bernie. I can't see it on my screen, so
Well,
I'm not sure.
it's on my screen, so it's just a before and after. So have we got some before and afters coming on your screen?
There's nothing on my screen. I don't know if everyone else is seeing that, but...
Okay, I'll just keep going then. But so with the before and after photographs, I tried to impress upon you that it's very important that you show the woman as she is and what she could be like when you've finished with her.
Yeah. It became so important in my business. I really didn't realize how important the before and after shots were until you, I guess, pointed that out to me straight away. I was just showing the finished product, and one problem that I had was if I was showing my photographs to any woman, they were like, oh, she's a model, oh, she's great, or she's thin, or I can't do that, or when I lose 50 kilos, I'll come and see you. Well, those are the sort of remarks that I was having. But when I was showing a before and after photo, people automatically straight away saw, oh my God, she looks like me, without makeup, without my hair. So wow, Murielle can actually make me look like that. So that's what was happening.
Yeah, and some of your transformations are sort of amazing. So I just want to go through just a little bit of your processes, and one of the things I told you to do is an FAQ sheet. But before the shoot, talking to your client, so you do a bit of paperwork?
Yes, this is something I cannot thank you enough for helping me put into place. I never understood the power of having processes put into place that just made the sale. At the end of the day, you want to do all this as a photographer. You love doing what you do and all that sort of stuff, and I love doing that, but it's about getting paid at the end of the day. I have a mortgage. I have expenses just like everyone else, but putting processes into place was so important, and it's something I never really knew how to do, or never thought to do, or I had some processes but weren't quite right. So some of the things that Bernie helped me develop, some of the processes, I should say, that Bernie helped me develop were having things like, okay, so we're about to start the photo shoot. I get them to sign a disclaimer saying that basically I can use the photos for advertising. They might be put on Facebook. They're okay with that, yes or no. Things like, they're responsible for themselves during the photo shoot. If something happens to my equipment, worst thing that can happen is we do a reshoot. And everyone's like, yes, 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 I'll sign off on that. So great, I don't have to worry after the photo shoot about, oh, can I put this on Facebook? Oh, can I put this on Instagram? Or should I ask them? No, I've already got my approval. I've already spoken to them about that. It's fine.
Yeah.
And that's something that...
Yeah, one of the key
Yeah, that's
elements.
something that. Yeah, sorry, Bernie, go on.
It's all right. One of the key elements, about talking to about whether your partner husband is going to be at the sale session.
Yeah, very important. So, I do charge, well, I guess my clients can spend a fair bit on their photographs at the end of the day. And I know for a fact that when I shoot a woman, I'm very confident in the fact that when they come to view their photos, they are going to love their images.
Yeah.
I know that. I don't think I've ever I did one of these portrait shoots and I've had a woman say, oh, you've made me look horrible. It's never happened. So at the end of the day, as I said, it's about getting paid, and something that I had initially overlooked or not seen or didn't know about was I need to talk to these women and find out, okay, who's making the financial decisions
Yeah.
when it comes to making the final purchase. So before I even start the photo shoot, I say to them, okay, well, do you want to come in on your own or would you like to bring your husband? Oh, no, I'll come in on my own. Okay. Are you comfortable making the financial decisions yourself? Yeah, I'm okay. Because the worst that can happen is you come in, you have a look at all the photos, you fall in love with them, and hey, you're going to spend $2,000, or even more than that. Are you okay with that? Oh, no, no, I think I might need my husband to come with me. Okay, let's book a time for you and your husband to come in.
Yeah.
So that was a real turning point for me. That was something that I never asked them before and where I had real issues with my sales.
Yeah.
Getting them in, falling in love with all the photos. This is the price of the photos. Oh my God, I can't spend that much. I have to go ask my husband. So it really made my sales process a lot easier, just knowing that, okay, they need their husband or they don't need their husband, or what their financial status is.
And
Makes a huge
the
difference.
reality is, as I explained to you, once you start doing those big numbers, once you start doing over $2,000 sales, and you do $4, $5, $6,000 sales, you really do have to get your systems right and your processes. Otherwise, it can really bite you in the bum when it comes to sale time.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you were
it really
getting
can.
bit in the bum quite
Yeah.
quite a lot.
Oh, look, I was getting excited, making $5,000, $6,000 sales, and then, a day later or a couple of hours later, I would get a message or a phone call saying, you know what, Marie, we're going to cancel our whole order, or
Mm.
can you just pick 2 photos out? I've just had a discussion with my husband, and he had a heart attack. He's in hospital. He can't believe I'm spending $5,000 on
On me.
portraits
Yeah.
on me. And of course, it's because they haven't seen what their wife looks like or what their partner looks like or where the cost has gone into place.
Yeah, and
Similar sort of thing. Sorry, go on.
the interesting thing was that, when you said you wanted to do this and push this, I said, but Murray, this is one of the hardest genres to make money out of, Why? Why not do newborns? I mean, they're easier to sell. And I know that, a lot of photographers have tried this genre, but they haven't had much success. In fact, there aren't many around at present photographers doing this genre, and you're doing it amazingly successfully. So, congratulations on that because you stuck with it
Thank you.
and you worked
Um,
through it. You worked through a lot of little things, and now you're at a place where you're having this incredible success that I'll talk to you about in a sec.
yeah, thank you, Bernie. I think with any job, really, this is something that I love to do. It's something, even when I finished my university course, I always wanted to get into fashion, commercial kind of photography, but never really delved into it. And with my photos, I feel they have a bit of a high-end sort of fashion twist. Like when I shoot, I imagine myself shooting for a magazine. So, and I think my clients see that when they see the style of my work. And so when I feel that you shoot something that you want to shoot, you know, you can be, you do get better at what you do. You do push yourself to be where you want to be, and that's sort of how I've come to where I am, because I have pushed myself. I do love what I do. I love photographing women, and yeah, so I guess
So,
that's where it comes
so
from.
just talking about promotion, and we've worked on a lot of things, and I've just got one on the screen directed towards Mother's Day, um, which we put out there. So one of the successes, I think, of this business has been that you have really got out there, and we've really targeted your market. Just tell us
Yeah.
briefly about that, about what you've done. You've done this Mother's Day promotion. We did some promotions with a hairdresser. We've done some with fitness centers. Um,
Yeah, it's just about, which again you helped me realize, it's about working with other businesses and other industries that that sort of work with what I'm doing. So I did initially set out to target things like hairdressers, beauty salons, you know, fitness centers, things like that, because they're all things that women go to, women
mhm.
spend money on. So we worked on I initially approached Fernwood Fitness Centre in my area, and I can honestly say that I was very negative approaching it at first. What do I do? How do I go? Who do I talk to? Da, da, da. And I remember you, Bernie, saying to me, what's the worst that they can say? No. Go in there, show them what you've got, and we'll see what happens. Went in there, met with the manager and said, this is the promotion I want to hold, this is what I want to do, showed her some of my work. I was in there for 2 hours. Everyone came and looked at my work. Everyone wanted to be my friend. Everyone wanted to get their photo shoot booked in. Everyone was excited. I just walked out of there feeling so elated, and I called you, Bernie, and I said, oh my God, this is what happened. They love my work. Da, da, da. And at that moment, I realized it was me that was blocking myself. It's the mental block that we give ourselves, that we don't push ourselves. Um,
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm not the best at explaining things, but I guess you can sort of gather what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know for you that was a big step, and
Yeah,
you just took yourself beyond. You actually crawled out of your own skin and became
yeah.
somebody else, the person that you really wanted to be. And yeah, that was an amazing sort of promotion. And I don't know how many sittings you've gotten out of that, but with the entry box, I think you had over 100 and whatever entries, didn't you?
There was about 150 entries, and
That's
I probably did
amazing.
about 20 or 30 photo shoots from that.
Yeah.
And then after that, I held another one at a hairdresser, which was it is a very high-end upmarket hairdresser. And again, mental blocks. I never thought they would even look twice at me. You know, I work from home. I'm a local photographer.
Yeah.
Never even thought that they would appreciate the sort of work that I do. And when I met with them, they took me on board straight away. They said, we'd love to work with you. And it's just been sitting after sitting after sitting. And now I've even established a small studio there. So that's been amazing. And I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would ever be associated with a salon like this and doing what I do there. But
So you're
if I,
actually got a studio set up in the back of the hairdressing salon.
yeah, uh, yeah, that's basically it.
That's great, isn't it?
Can you still hear I'm still amazed, honestly. I'm still in shock that this is all happening to me. I have to pinch myself sometimes. But yeah, I've actually, when I pitched what I wanted to do with them, I said, I'd love to set up a little studio here, like, you know, your clients can get their hair and makeup done and they can pop in for a photo shoot
Yeah.
and it will be great. I'll give you the photos in return and this and that, and they saw the benefits of it and they've let me roll with it, and they've promoted me, and in turn I've promoted them, and it's just been great. And this has all happened in the last 2 months. So, and from that I've made 3 incredible sales over last week and this week, which Bernie did state in the email that he sent out.
So what's actually happened is that your profile has been lifted because you're in this, really upmarket hairdressing salon in the back. So you're riding on the waves of their success, which is fantastic. So I've put these sales up on the screen here, and it's always exciting for me as a coach when I get these little emails, and you sent me this email that, you'd made a sale of 4,745.
Yeah.
And then not 2 minutes later, but a couple of hours later maybe, then you said you'd got
2 hours later, maybe. Yeah.
2 hours later, yeah. You'd done this $4,000 sale. That was an interesting one, wasn't it? Tell us about it.
Okay, so it was interesting because this was one of the ladies before the photo shoot where I said to her, do you need your husband to make financial decisions with? And straight out she said, yes, I do, Murielle. I would love him to come to the appointment. Admittedly, I was a little bit nervous because, I haven't met the husband, don't know what he's like, all those things that play into my head.
Yeah.
But he basically came in, showed him the photos. They both loved the photos, sat them down, showed them through the products.
And at this stage, if I can just interrupt for a sec, I implemented a sales process to you a few months ago. So now you're implementing that, and you implemented it at this sale.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want me to talk about the sales process or?
No, just tell us about this guy.
Okay.
What his reaction was, what he said.
Okay, so I've just showed them the products. I've left the room and given them a few moments to talk about what they want to do. And I've left the room thinking, oh God, God knows what's going to happen now. He's going to turn around and say to her, you're only spending $100, da-da-da. These are the thoughts that go through my mind.
Yeah.
Walked back to the room, sat down, didn't open my mouth. He's basically said, I'm going to give you $4,000 and I want you to put together a package for me. And his wife just looked at him in shock, to be honest. But I didn't. I was very cool, calm and collected, and I said, okay then, no problem. I will do that for you. And that's what I did. I put together a package based on what he wanted, and they left there feeling so happy. A couple of days later, I had seen them, and the wife was raving on about how she had told everyone about me, how fantastic my work was, so that's great,
Yeah, I think it's interesting because the sales process that I taught you that you're using is especially good for that type of guy who wants to control. Obviously a guy that wants to control everything and say, I'm going to decide what we want, you're not going to sell me anything. And because of the retail type system I showed you, he sort of fell for that in a way.
Yeah, I mean, he knew what I gave him at the end of the day was valued far more than $4,000, but that's my value on it. And I was happy to pocket $4,000 right then and there.
Yeah.
Then, say, no, this is what you need to pay, or no, you need to pay extra for this. I was happy with $4,000. I'm laughing with $4,000 in my pocket. I had just made 4,745 2 hours before that. So,
and then the following day, was it?
Well, that happened on, I think, the Thursday or the Friday, and then Monday of this week I made another sale of 4,500.
So you're having a reasonable sort of week.
Yeah, I am.
Coming up to Christmas.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. I can't complain.
No. Well, no, you're doing pretty good. But what you don't understand, but what I understand is these sales, you can do even better, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Can you imagine doing a $10,000 portrait sale? Can you imagine it?
I can imagine it, yes,
Well,
because I've
if you
almost
can
done a
imagine it,
regular portrait.
if you can imagine it, then keep imagining it, and that will be a goal that we'll set for ourselves in 2014, hey?
Yes, looking forward to
So
it.
just before we go, and that's been fantastic, just not going through all your prices, but I know a lot of photographers out there who are listening are probably thinking about digital files. Tell us about digital files. How much do you charge for digital files, and do you offer them?
Yeah, I do. This is something you helped me work on, I suppose, because I used to charge, I think, $995 for my digital files before
Hmm.
I met you and we worked through this. But you made me realize it's all about the perceived value to the client. So it was all about showing them value. And at the moment, all of my sales have been for digital files have been, well, actually they started off probably a month ago at, what was I charging? Uh, $14.95, I think it was, for my digital files. And now I've taken that price up to $19.95. Because I've realized that people aren't hesitating to pay that amount for the files. They love the photos. They're quite happy to pay that amount. So I would test it and I'd up it to $19.95. And that's not $19.95, which is what some of my clients do think when I say that to them. It's $1,995. So with that, they get a little 20-page 6x6 album, and in the back of that album holds the files. But the album is actually a gift. It's very important that I tell my clients that it's a gift,
Yeah.
because if I don't, I find them saying to me, "Oh, how about I give you $1,000 and just take out the cost of the album?" I also include a personalized app. That's also a gift. And they want to take out the price of that just to
Yeah.
reduce the price of their package. So
Yeah.
what I turn around and say to them, well, you can take them out. I don't have to make them for you, but they're a gift. The price is still the same. Oh,
Mm.
okay. No, I'll take those. Thank you very much.
Mm.
So it just adds value
Yeah.
to what they're getting at the end of the day. And
And
that's
and
been great. That's worked amazing.
yeah, and what a lot of photographers don't understand is, yes, you can sell digital files, but your clients will, if you just make it a product at a price, your clients will not just buy the digital files, they'll buy other things as your sales reflect.
Yeah.
I mean, each of
Um,
these sales, they would have had the digital files plus
well,
other
yeah, the
things.
$4,000 plus sales are generally a 20-page album and the digital files. So if I talk about costs and what they actually cost me and profit, it's
Yeah,
quite a profitable thing to do.
it's enormous, isn't it, the profit on that?
It's crazy. It's
But
enormous. So
but it certainly pays for your, you know, your skill at developing a great product, a unique product. And hey, how many photographers out there are doing what you're doing?
look, it's not bad getting paid $4,000 or more in a day's worth of work, really, if you think about it. It's 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 amazing.
Yes, and as I keep saying to you, you've got to try and hold on to some, Murielle. Don't keep spending it.
I know, I'm really bad at that. I do like nice things, so I do spend my money. But
Well,
yeah,
you've earned it, so you can do what you like with it, right?
yeah, I'm already thinking about my next holiday.
Okay, that's great. So we could keep going, Murray, but I'm hoping that next year maybe we do a seminar and maybe we can do a day seminar of what you do and talk to you a lot more about your success.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to share with other photographers what I do and how I do it, and just, I guess, helping them overcome the mental block and being stuck in a rut. I've been there.
Yeah,
And it's just about viewing things a little bit differently and getting yourself out there and getting outside the box and yeah, doing things differently. And not being scared of, is this person going to say no? Am I going to be rejected? You said it to me, Bernie, what's the worst they can say? No.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, they said no, I'm sad. Okay, let's move on to the next
That's it.
project.
It's always about
That's
next.
I've gone through that.
Yeah.
Next.
Fantastic. Yeah, next. So that's fantastic,
Next.
and thanks, thanks, Mireille, and congratulations again on your success. Um,
Thank you.
we'd like to ask you some questions, but I'm noticing if anyone wants to send me a message here, but I'm noticing it doesn't appear to be working. I'm not getting people's messages. So if anyone's got any questions, could you please address them to me at info@aswpp.com.au, info@aswpp.com.au, and we'll answer sort of any questions. Um, so if anyone of you need any help with coaching, we've just launched last night, in fact, a new coaching programs under the title of Eat Your Elephant. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So business can get a bit frustrating in many areas. So that's where I come in and help, as I've helped Murielle. So thanks, Murielle. Thanks, everybody. Gregory, Leanne, Muriel, Robin, Tracy, and all the others, and Rob, and Kathy, and everybody else that's come along today. Sorry for the bad start, but I think we got there, Murielle. And fantastic,
Yes.
and well done.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I hope what I said has been helpful to you in some shape, way, or form. And please do direct any questions that you have to Bernie, and we will answer those for you ASAP.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Good on, Murielle. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.